IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, North Body Shop, Park National Bank, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Sheridan Funeral Home, Buckeye Toyota, and Standing Stone Bank.
Live from Fulton Field, we welcome you to the Interphase Video Productions Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Josh Messerly. Great to have you behind the mic again, Josh.
Thanks. It's good to be back.
Tonight, game number 2 of our weekend doubleheader here at Fulton Field as the Fisher Catholic Irish are hosting the Miller Falcons. Tonight's kickoff brought to you by the Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They've been serving the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years. It'll be J.J. Vio teeing it up to kick it off for the Irish. And Josh, let's get right into talking about these two teams. You had a chance to talk to both coaches via email. And I got to tell you, let's jump right into talking about Fisher Catholic first. I really am impressed with what Coach Luke Timmis has been able to do in his first year as a head coach. They were way down in numbers, and a lot of guys just not sure about the game of football. I mean, they really new to the game.
Absolutely. You've got a lot of young players, and we saw them week 1 against Berne Union really have some struggles, really just trying to get a feel for it. And as the season has progressed, as you'd like to see, they have gotten better each week against Worthington Christian. They really, I think, turned the corner, and really winning the last 2 games has certainly been a boost.
Vio's kick flies to the 8-yard line. And a great job on the coverage team as the Falcons fumble the football, but I think forward progress was stopped. The Falcons are going to start inside their 20-yard line. Let's get to the keys of the game, brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability since 1979. Owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty on each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right.
Well, for Miller, I'd say ground and pound is the way to go tonight. Anytime they've rushed for almost 300 yards in their 2 wins, they have been successful. Also, get off the bus, ready to play. It's kind of a literal thing here in 2020.
That's right.
You got to get a fast start. And for Fisher Catholic, we've got Jack Tenza. But who else? Who else is going to step up tonight for the Irish? And it's time to step up and grow up for this young Irish team.
Everything goes through the quarterback, Blayton Cox, for Miller. And that's who takes this first carry. We're going to see a heavy dose of Blayton Cox for the Falcons.
Yeah, Blayton Cox, a special mention All-State player a year ago in Division VII. He's a guy that can throw it a little bit. Interestingly enough, he had 30 pass attempts the last game. The previous 4 games, he had 41 pass attempts.
Both these teams coming in tonight 2-3 in the Mid-State League Cardinal Division. Miller, of course, a brand new member of this Mid-State League. They come from the Tri-Valley Conference Hawking Division. They face 2nd down and 6 here. Cox gives off to number 19, Tommy Mitchell, and he's going to be wrapped up just about the 22-yard line.
Great job there by Avery Hickman on that play, out on the edge, really turning it back. He didn't make the tackle, but he slowed down the running back enough to allow the pursuit to get there.
Irish with some really nice brand new uniforms this year. They look sharp. Almost have a little bit of an Alabama feel to them.
Absolutely. Kind of go on the old school, like the script Irish on the opposite side. You can only see the numbers from this side of the field, but I like they got the decals. I think earlier in the year they didn't have those yet, but it looks sharp.
3rd down and 7. Cox around the left side, trying to get to the corner, and he's going to be close, but I don't think he made it. He's shy by about 2 yards.
Yeah, just came a couple yards short, it looks like.
Looks like on the stop, leading the way, Alex Smith, one of the senior leaders of this football team for Coach Timmis.
Good job by the Irish defense getting a 3 and out. You love to see that early on in the game.
Dropping back to receive the punt for the Irish is Colton Yeager and also Jack Tenza. It'll be Yeager at midfield. And he'll get inside Miller territory to about the 45. Good starting position for the Irish on their first drive coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. You love to see that good field position for the Irish offense, and that's how you kind of ease some of those nerves going into a big game like this. And it's kind of interesting. Week 5, normally it's the halfway point. Well, it's the end of the regular season this year. and feel a lot less pressure, I think, if you're the Irish, where you normally would be this time of year.
Although Miller is new to the Mid-State League, these two teams are not necessarily new to each other. They haven't really ever played in the regular season, but they've scrimmaged quite a bit over the years.
Absolutely. First ever regular season meeting.
Yeager will give off to Jack Tenza. And a great burst through the line there as he gets across the 40-yard line.
I love to see that out of Jack Tenza. Expect to see that all night. And just kind of the alignment that Miller gives you, they kind of spread out, flare out their defense ends. They kind of stand up. Really, I thought the Irish would have success tonight if they could kick those defensive ends out and create a nice little alley off tackle.
Yeah. Tenza's having a good season. The junior, 85 rushes, 366 yards, 2 touchdowns on the season. Had a great week last week at Bishop Rosecrans. 2nd down and 3. Sullivan in motion. Here's Tenza. He lost the football. I think Miller might have gotten it.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yes, they did. Almost looked like just a bad exchange from quarterback to running back.
Yeah, I'd love to see another look at that. Looked like it just didn't get into the belly enough to secure it, and that's what you don't want to see if you're Fisher Catholic turning it over early. Watching some film earlier this week of the Miller-Worthington Christian game, they kind of hung around a little bit more than I thought they should have because Worthington Christian, because of penalties and turnovers, really kept them in that game.
So 1st and 10 for the Falcons after they pick up the loose football. Cox hands it off to McCoy. Trey McCoy going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Tackled by Kavanaugh Frank.
You heard the PA announcer, Kavanaugh Frank, on the stop. He has had an outstanding season. He actually started the year as a running back, one of those guys that's going to be a skill position. They saw quickly that they were going to need somebody to snap the football, and he's really done a nice job.
Yeah, that's the thing you deal with at Division VII. Obviously, a lot of guys playing both ways, but sometimes you have to be flexible and change positions. I think he even changed jersey once or twice this year.
2nd down and 11 for the Falcons. Out of that shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers split out to the top of the screen. It'll be Cox keeping it. Big hole there, but a good job.
Great job.
52, I believe that's Waylon Yeager a couple weeks ago. He had an outstanding game with some big hits, and this is not good for Miller as this is their quarterback, Blayton Cox, still down on the field.
Yeah, we said he's the everything guy for Miller. And, we talk about not having a lot of depth for both teams. Doesn't help.
See if we can see what happened to him here. It looks like he does have a brace on that right knee.
Just kind of got snug out.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's not good. And it's that same leg that he has the brace on.
That's the unfortunate thing about turf. It's nice, but sometimes those cleats just grip right in it. And, boy, an unfortunate injury for Miller.
And this is one of those situations, as you watch it again, that you hope that it's more of a scared thing. You know what I mean? Where maybe it hurt for a moment and it's not as serious. When you wear that brace like that, he's obviously had an injury in the past. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot worse than it may be, but he looks like he's in considerable pain as they tend to him out on the field as well.
Blayton Cox is a senior, 5'7", 168 pounds, and as we mentioned in the pregame, he's pretty much the offense for this Miller Falcon football team.
Yeah, I mean, he threw, as I said, 30 times last week. They had a little more balance in their offensive attack a week ago in their loss at Grove City Christian, a close loss. But, you go from him to who knows at this situation, and it may be somebody who has to change positions, and
he did.
Shuffling things around. Yeah, he was a running back. They converted to quarterback.
You mentioned who knows who you go to. I'm looking at their roster right now, and there's not anybody else listed as a QB on the roster. And as you got to talk to their coach, Sean Bartley, this week, he mentioned that, like you just said, that Cox was a running back, and he's new to the position, but he's playing it pretty well. Yeah,
we talked about, with Fisher Catholic and Kavanaugh Frank having to change positions. It's just quite common. You just don't have enough depth at this level. And give credit. I know Fisher Catholic has dealt with this, and I'm sure Miller has, where it's tough in practice because you don't have enough to go 11 on 11. You got to go half lines, and it really gets tough when you have a compressed season like this.
Miller's training staff led by Christy Jackson out there taking care of Blayton Cox. We certainly wish the best for him. Never want to see an injury to anybody, let alone a senior in a season like we've had this year.
Trying to look and see if there's anybody taking snaps or throwing the football, but
Hunter Wellspring may be the guy they call on. He's listed, as far as offensively, he's listed as just an athlete. So that means he could go anywhere, potentially.
Yeah, and that would be the guy I would think he would go to.
On the 36-yard line.
He's also a good receiver for Miller, and that kind of has a ripple effect. Now he has to shift to quarterback potentially. Yeah. You lose a receiver.
As Cox was going off the field, he put no pressure on that right leg at all.
And this could be a situation, too, if you're Miller, where you go old school football and just go single wing.
Yeah.
You know, have somebody take the snap and just run with it, which in some ways is kind of what they did with Cox.
So we'll see who they line up behind center. Looks like it's going to be
Trey McCoy, I believe.
Trey McCoy, number 7, comes out of that wide receiver position. He will hand it off. Caleb Russell on the carry, and not much there. Once again, the stop made by Waylon Yeager.
And certainly this changes the offensive approach for Miller. If they were planning on maybe throwing the ball a little more, you may see a lot more conservative game plan that's on the ground.
4th and 11 brings up a punting situation. Back to punt it for the Falcons is number 12, Damon McGee. And, of course, Tenza and Yeager back to receive it for the Irish. McGee did a nice job hauling in the lower snap. Yeager and Tenza are going to let it bounce, and it takes a Miller Falcon roll. It's like the Irish will take over right about the 25-yard line.
For a second, I thought there was a little indecision on who was going to get that. Both players looked at each other and was like, okay. And that's the best thing to do. If you're not sure who's going to take it on a punt situation, don't do it on a kickoff, certainly, but on a punt situation, let it go, get away from it.
Right. Not going to hurt anything.
No.
So the Irish back on offense. Their first possession, they fumbled the football on an exchange from quarterback to center, and I was watching as Tenza went back to the huddle after that fumble. He kind of looked at Yeager and tapped his shoulder like maybe it was a high handoff and went off his shoulder pad. Here's Tenza again across the 30. Strong run there.
I love to see him dragging tacklers at the end of that run, too. Way to finish the run.
Jack Tenza, 6 foot, 208 pounds, and he's just a beast.
Very solid. You don't see running backs like that too often at this level, just because necessity. Guys like that play like tight end or offensive line.
Here's the crazy thing about Jack Tenza. He's a junior, but still is not 16 years old.
Wow.
The guys tease him because mom has to drop him off at practice as a junior in high school.
Yeah, that's probably not going to go too well for him.
2nd down and 3 for the Irish. Smith in motion. Here's Tenza right up the middle, and it's a first down, Fisher Catholic.
Yeah, they're having a lot of success running downhill against Miller right now. I think you'll see a lot more of that.
This Irish team is a team that graduated 14 seniors on a 26-man roster last year. So the question marks were there coming into the season for Coach Temmis, who comes in his first year as the head coach, but I believe 17 years overall in the system. He's a teacher at Fisher Catholic, obviously played at Fisher Catholic, and as I mentioned earlier, he's just done a tremendous job with these guys.
And if there's not a better ambassador for Fisher Catholic than Luke Temmis, I'm not sure. I mean, he really bleeds green, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeager keeps it himself. Scoots up to about the 44, close to a first down. No, that was first down, so he's a short gain of 2 on the play.
You also got to wonder about Miller, kind of the emotional toll that injury. Your leader, your quarterback goes down. Who's going to be the guy that steps up and rallies the troops?
2nd down and 8 coming up. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score here from Fulton Field. Yeager sends Smith in motion. He'll take the handoff, and he lost the football. And this could go as a huge loss
Alex Smith,
for the Irish.
He did a good job just getting what he could out of it and not trying to. A lot of guys will try and turn back and make a bad play even worse.
So 3rd down and long. We'll see if the Irish come with some pass here. Let's see. Oh, he might have got a hand on it.
Yeah, I
though.
just don't think he was able to put it away. He had the defender coming upfield, got a hand on it, poked it away, I think, before he was able to secure it.
Landon Evans, number 50, and 57, Damon Brooks, both were on him. One of those guys, I think, might have gotten their paw on it. So big third down here for Fisher Catholic. 3rd and 16. Haven't passed a whole lot this year. When they have, it's been to either Jack Carpenter, the transfer from Lancaster, or Alex Smith out of the backfield. And
Timeout.
Coach Timmis
Fisher
wants a
Catholic.
timeout. Timeouts tonight brought to you by The Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. You can check out their website at carriagecompany.com.
Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Fairfield County is looking for high school students to serve as bigs for their school-based mentoring program. They have programs in Lancaster, Pickerington, and Berne Union. High school students travel to the elementary or middle school for one class period a week throughout the school year. Bigs will have professional support by Big Brothers, Big Sisters staff throughout the school year, in addition to the training they receive prior to placement in the program. For more information on how you can become a big, call 740-687-9477.
Yeah, I'm a teacher here at Lancaster High School, and several of the students here at Lancaster have gone through that program and been bigs, and it's life-changing. It really is.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to help out with the Bowl for Kids' Sake fundraiser that unfortunately they weren't able to have this year, but it is a great organization in Fairfield County.
3rd down and 16 out of the timeout for the Irish. Yeager will have Tenza right behind him. Split out wide to the right side is Smith and Carpenter. Yeager, straight drop. He's going to tuck it in and run. He's got a little bit of room around the near side. He's got to get to the 50 or the 48, and I think he got it.
Yes. Great run. Pocket collapsed right around him, and he did a good job of getting up in the pocket and sliding out of it once it broke down on him.
You know, I said Carpenter, but he's actually on the sideline, not in – he's got his jersey on, but no pads as we watch the replay here.
Yeah, good job stepping up. He sees the seam, and then he gets to the sideline, gets upfield, and knows how much he's got to get for that first down. Nice stiff arm there at the end.
I think the situation with Carpenter is being the transfer. I think he's at his limit of number of games he's allowed to play. Here's Tenza, big hole there, and Tenza shot out of a cannon as he goes to the 40-yard line.
That's got to be a bit of a boost for the Irish offense, too, converting on 3rd and long like that.
Second down and 4. Clock rolls down to 3:42 to play here in the first quarter. Still no score in this Mid-State League Cardinal Division matchup between the Falcons of Miller coming up Route 93 from Corning.
Yeah, you have to kind of be going to Corning to find that. Sometimes
You do.
you don't stumble upon a place like that. It's a nice community, though.
Yes, it is. Alex Smith in motion. Tenza takes the handoff and tripped up right away.
Yeah, I think the turf monster may have got him on that one.
Josh, when you played here, obviously it was grass, nice lush grass. What is your preference?
Depends on the time of year if it was lush grass or not. You got to the
That's true.
midpoint of the season,
Lush
especially.
mud, huh?
Yeah, if it was dirt or mud, depending on the time of the year. I prefer natural grass.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a well-maintained field is nothing better. I don't know if you've happened to a chance to see what they did up at Tiger Stadium in Pickerington. They put some
that
sort of
looks
like
really
Bermuda
nice.
grass
Yeah.
type of thing. It's awesome up there.
Here's Tenza again, right up the middle. Tenza across the 35 and a first down for the Irish.
But I will say I understand the reasoning for going to the turf. Certainly a facility like this where you're going to have two teams use it, it's going to get used and abused. And if you have one rainstorm game early in the season, it's going to be trashed for the rest of the year, and then you have no chance of hosting a playoff game. But now they have that opportunity with the turf.
Fulton Field hosts, of course, Lancaster football. They host Fisher Catholic football as well as Lancaster boys and girls soccer and girls field hockey. So there's a lot played on this field.
We were here yesterday setting up.
Another fumble. I think that one was from center to quarterback, but Yeager able to fall on it. In fact, I think there was a girls soccer game on this field earlier today.
It may well have been. We were here yesterday setting up for last night's game, and there was girls soccer team practicing, boys soccer team on one end practicing, field hockey in another corner of the field. You had cross-country runners going around the track, and meanwhile they're getting ready for a football game.
Yeah, there was a soccer game here today. The Lancaster Lady Gales soccer team defeated Alexander out of the Tri-Valley Conference 2-0. So congratulations to them. Here's Tenza. And gets across the 25. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short for the Irish.
That play has been money tonight. There, Miller so far has not had an answer. We talked about an off-tackle play like that presenting themselves. If they can get that in kicked out and seal off the defensive tackle, you've got at least 3-4 yards before he's going to see another jersey. Watch it right here. Nice seal block there on number 32. And just a shoestring tackle to bring down Jack Tenza.
So 3rd down and 2 as the clock ticks down to 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Tenza again. He's got the 1st down and more across the 20 and inside the 20 to about the 17.
McLean on the tackle.
Talked as one of the keys of maybe needing somebody else to step up, but right now, if they can't stop Jack Tenza, you may not need somebody else.
True. That's true. And we have a timeout. Miller going to take a timeout with 47 seconds to play here in this first quarter.
And tonight's IVP Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Standing Stone Bank. Whether you're ready to tackle a mortgage loan or need cash for home improvements, make Standing Stone Bank the key player in your home or business financial plans. Business to business, neighbor to neighbor. Let's grow this town together. Standing Stone Bank, an equal housing lender, member FDIC. Also, Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the crew for great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town. It's all at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center on North Memorial Drive in Lancaster. That's a B-dubs earlier this week. It was delicious.
Oh, yeah. As always. I want to say thanks to our Interface Video Productions crew. On cameras tonight, Jim Spires and Tom Russo, bringing you all the action in your living room or on your phone or your computer screen. On graphics and replays, Donnie Ziegfeld, and our producer-director, Bob Campetti. And, of course, Josh, I believe you had some a hand in setting up all this stuff.
A little bit, yeah. I heard a rumor that Tim's contract says he can only work one night a week, so that's why I'm here tonight.
So we'll see what Fisher Catholic comes with here out of the timeout. It'll be 1st and 10. With the ball spotted at the 17-yard line, under a minute to play in the first quarter. No score at Fulton Field.
Well, it feels like football weather tonight.
Yeah, it does. Beautiful night here in Central Ohio and a nice crowd on hand. Of course, obviously, lots of different protocols have to be put in place, but all told, this is a really nice crowd for Fisher Catholic.
Yeah, very nice.
Sullivan in motion. Here's Tenza. No. Yeager kept it. Pulled it out and kept it over the right side. And it's a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, just a little basic midline option. You see that run by Lancaster quite a bit. Quarterback's reading the defensive end. If he comes straight up field, he's going to give it. If he crashes down, he's going to pull it and go up behind the running back.
From the 14-yard line.
Down inside of 25 seconds here in the first quarter. As you see Kavanaugh Frank break the huddle with that football. That's one of those strange new rules this year.
I think that may stay. I really do.
Might. Here's Tenza. Tenza bowling his way forward to near the 10-yard line, and that will end the first quarter here at Fulton Field scoreless on this Saturday night at Fulton Field. Josh, let's talk about some of those changes. Of course, we've talked about them throughout the season, and the big one, like we see here, is the officials never touch the football.
Right, and I've not seen a measurement at all this year, which maybe short of the fourth quarter late drive or something like that, you may not all season.
Yeah.
But I think that the orange beanbag thing, I think that could really be something that continues beyond this COVID season. And I think it could be a benefit for teams in a 2-minute situation.
Yeah.
Think about it. Your receiver catches the ball, he brings it right back to the line of scrimmage where they're lining up, and they're ready to go. They don't have to wait on the official to get it, spot it, and be ready for play.
I was about to say that it does seem like it has sped up the football game quite a bit.
But obviously, the social distancing on the sideline eventually will go away. I think the water bottle thing will go away. The mask thing will go away as well. But that's one change though with that we'll see, and I think the playoffs will go back to their normal computer point system, and certainly it's taken a lot of pressure off coaches this year because I think, and I even asked both of these coaches, and Luke Timmis admitted that, they are kind of approaching things a little bit differently because they don't have to worry about games being 4 big computer points.
Yeah.
So they can, take a little pressure off of their players and say, hey, let's try this, maybe be more aggressive and go for more fourth downs.
Coach Timmis, there he is right there. He's a guy that gets it. As we said, he played for Fisher Catholic. He was an outstanding all-state player, and now he's getting the chance to take over the reins, and he's doing it the right way. He's building from the bottom up, from the young guys up, and for the first time in many, many years, Fisher Catholic has a biddy team. And last night, it was very cool. I was out working on the baseball field, Ben Timmis Field, and I look over, and there's a bunch of little guys with the varsity team practicing. And it was really cool. It was the varsity team was working with these younger guys, and there they are right there. Coach Timmis and his staff came together with the biddy coaches, and they had a joint practice, and just really, really cool to see that. And that's what's going to make those young guys want to stick around.
Yeah, you have to have a good feeder system. That translates to success at the varsity levels. We see them. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, awesome. That's good stuff.
Hey, you got a stretch. And it's a biddy night tonight as they're down the sidelines as well, so that's pretty cool. And seeing how it's done.
See if those biddies can cheer on the Irish to a touchdown here. 3rd down, and it looks like 3 or 4. Yeager giving to, he lost the football. It was to Alex Smith, and it's recovered by the Falcons.
Well, I like the call there. That little inside trap play looked like it was going to develop nicely, but just unable to secure the football. Wonder if it got poked out again like we saw earlier on one of the jet sweeps.
Let's see here.
Hard to tell.
Right there on that hit is when he lost
May have been
it.
a helmet on the ball.
Could have been. But the Falcons with a big fumble recovery as the Irish were knocking on the door of the end zone. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for Fisher Catholic.
I mean, they've had great success. They've just been their own worst enemy so far tonight.
1st and 10 Falcons. Handoff comes to number 19. That's Tommy Mitchell. Mitchell with the nice run all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Good stick by Yeager at the end of that play.
Mitchell just 5'8", 160 pounds. He's a freshman, but he runs hard.
He does. I mean, and again, it's going to be who's going to be the guy that steps up without Cox, the quarterback in this game. Going to need a couple of players probably to shoulder the load tonight.
31-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Falcons at their own 31-yard line. It's McLean coming to the near side, splitting out wide to the right side is Wellspring. McCoy again gives it off to Mitchell. And Mitchell, another nice run.
Tommy Mitchell, the ball
He may have found something there. Just a simple sweep and picking up 5-6 yards on it. That's what you're looking for.
along with Waylon Yeager.
2nd and 5. Here's the replay.
And we thought the size of Miller could be a concern for Fisher Catholic, especially wearing down on a team 4 quarters. And they kind of average about 200 across the offensive line, which at this level is really good.
Good job by that offensive line. Trevor Hoffman, 71. He's also a freshman, blocking for his freshman running back. This time, quarterback McCoy going to keep it. And he's going to get up to about the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
One thing you wonder is how often McCoy's had an opportunity to run with the offense.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly you have to prepare for these types of situations because you just never know when they could happen.
One for the Falcons.
This Irish defense giving up 575 yards on the ground. That's a 115-yard average per game.
Yeah, you'd like to see that down a little bit more, and certainly they're giving up about that much passing too.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 1 for the Falcons. And ball's loose on the field. And the Falcons recover, but a great job by the Irish to burst through that line. Kavanaugh Frank leading the way.
Yeah, great penetration. They were on him. Even if he cleanly catches it, it was going to be tough for McCoy to get anywhere.
Yeah, Kavanaugh did a great job there and just hung on for dear life.
4th and 6 for the
As
Falcons.
Trey McCoy was doing all he could to get away. 4th down and 6.
Looks like we've
Got
got
a
a flag.
whistle and a flag, yeah. Whistle came late. Here we go. We'll get our official call. First penalty of the night.
Procedure call against the Falcons.
I think he had issues with the microphone, but
It's John Dickerson, our referee tonight. Terry Williams is our umpire.
and again,
Penalty flag
happened
on the
again.
play.
And they're going to
Oh,
give
this
it back.
time, so yeah, it's on Fisher Catholic.
Somebody got crossed into the neutral zone.
Penalty against the Irish. Fourth and 6 for the Falcons.
So it goes back to 4th and 6. And McGee will punt it away. Irish will let it bounce, and it'll be downed right about the 41-yard line is where it was touched. It rolls back, but it's going to be Irish football right about the 40.
40-yard line. First and 10 for
Still
the
good
Irish.
starting field position. The Irish have pretty much dominated the
Yeah.
field position game so far.
2 possessions for the Irish on offense, but both of them resulting in turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing the Irish got worried about right now is taking care of the football. If they do that, they would have at least 7,
Yeah.
if not 14.
It's been a clean game as far as penalties. Those 2 penalties on the punt there are the only 2 that we've had the entire game. But the Irish definitely need to secure the football. Yeager sends Sullivan in motion. He's going to keep it himself. Takes a block from Sullivan, getting to the outside. Yeager with lots of running room to the 45-40 and all the way down to the Miller Falcon 35.
Boy, Yeager gave up a ton of ground trying to get around the
Yes, he
defensive
did.
end who came straight upfield.
Along with Quinn McCabe.
Yeah,
Probably
he
ran
went,
20
what,
yards to go 30 downfield.
Look how far behind. You're right. He's 10 yards almost behind the line of scrimmage. But then he turned on the Jets. Got a block there at the end from Jack Tenza.
But, I mean, that's what I'm talking about with this Miller defense. They've got defensive ends that stand up. They're almost in what we call like a 9 technique, way outside of the tackles, and they're just trying to get straight up field. If you can kick those guys out, you've got a nice alley to run in.
Tenza again. Tenza to the 25 and down to the 20-yard line.
Tyler Cook on the tackle.
Another first down for Fisher Catholic.
And they've run that play a bunch and had a great success on it tonight.
If you've watched this game at home and you've turned away for 2 plays, the 2 turnovers, you're probably thinking Fisher Catholic is blowing them out. But those 2 turnovers, that's what's keeping our score at 0 right now.
Yeah, if you didn't see the scoreboard, you would think the Irish are leading this game.
Yeah. First and 10 at the Falcon 20. Tenza taking hits and continuing to churn those legs and move forward for about 2.
McCune on the tackle. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. for
Clock
the
rolls
Irish
inside of 8 minutes to play in the first half.
from the 17-yard line.
Irish definitely winning the time of possession. Already seeing some guys' hands on hips for the Miller
Yeah.
defense.
Yeager again, quick give to Tenza. Inside the 10-yard line and another first down Irish. That was a quick hitter there.
Yeah, just a quick give to him. He goes straight ahead, runs over a guy. Just love the way Jack Tenza runs.
First and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. You've seen Bodie Sullivan quite a bit kind of start the play going in motion. That's a guy that has really surprised Coach Timmis this year.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, has said he's stepped up and improved. And when you have a young football team like this, you need guys to continually improve and step up and fill those roles that, they at the beginning of the season were looking for.
Another guy that's really come into his own is Simon Messerly. Familiar last name there.
Further down the family tree, a son of a second cousin of mine.
Simon just a freshman, but he's played well for the Irish. And as the baseball coach, looking forward to seeing him on the diamond as well.
You had a pretty successful this year, didn't you, as a debut? Undefeated?
Undefeated, baby.
Might be in the record book
That's
for
true.
the only undefeated season.
Second and goal from the 8. They lost the football again. And it's recovered by the Falcons. It looked like it was just taken right away.
I was going to say, did they take the handoff? It kind of looked like it because, I mean, that play got blown up. I'm not sure they had a chance to do anything there.
Wow.
Third turnover of the night.
This time, this one coming inside the 10-yard line. I don't know if we have a replay of that, but that was just strange looking. Let's see what happened here. Oh, yeah, it looked like.
No, I think it. I don't think he ever got it secured. I don't think Tenza ever got it in.
50 came away with it. That's
after
Landon
seeing that,
Evans.
I still don't know how he.
I don't
ended up.
either. Here comes Mitchell around the near side, and Mitchell with another good run for the Falcons. But it looked like right as soon as Yeager took the snap, he had a guy on him.
He had heavy penetration coming right at him as he spins around.
Right there, he's got an arm on him as he's handing off.
I don't know if it rolled down the leg of Tenza or what happened.
That was Damon Brooks with
Oh,
an
it's on
arm
the ground
him. Yeah.
right there in the middle. Wow.
So I think Damon Brooks really played a role there, hitting the arm of Yeager as he was trying to hand off.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job of blowing up the mesh point.
Yeah.
That's what you're taught as a defensive lineman.
2nd and 3. Give to Caleb Russell and stop behind the line of scrimmage. Stop that time led by Anthony Priest.
It's just a killer thing for the Irish is that's a second red zone turnover.
Yep.
Bodie Sullivan on the tackle.
Timeout for the Falcons, their third one of the ball game.
Timeout, Miller.
Josh, let's talk about some playoff pictures coming up. Actually, both these teams are in the same region, and we'll get underway next Friday night. So I searched through this stack of papers to find my brackets.
Well, Millers gets Waterford, which is not an easy place to play down there in Washington County. I've been down there for one game, for a playoff game. I saw Bern Union play down there playoffs a couple years ago, and they're usually a tough place to go play at. They're 3-3 in the year, and then Fisher drew Cardington Lincoln, who I was looking at their schedule, as we see next Friday. Division I, Lancaster-Reynoldsburg, winnable game for Lancaster, obviously beating Reynoldsburg, but it's always tough to beat them twice. In Division 7, you would think Bern Union should be able to handle Rosecrans. Frontier, Fairfield Christian, that should be a tough one, but Fairfield Christian playing better.
Yeah.
And then, Cardington, they're a team that has played some bigger schools, like Danville and East Knox and a few others. And we look at Division 4. Bloom Carroll gets the bye. Tough one for Fairfield Union at Heath. Down there in Division 5. So Morgan plays at Amanda. Winner of that game plays Liberty Union the following week. How about that?
That's interesting.
And the last time Liberty Union and Amanda got together a year ago was a Hail Mary for Amanda to win that game.
Third down. McCoy to pass, and he hit his man Mitchell, but he didn't get enough for the first down.
You'd like to see him run that route just a little bit beyond the sticks to ensure that he's got the first down, but it looks like he's going to come up 1.5 yards short.
Brings up a 4th down and 1.
So 4th and 1 for the Miller Falcons. Looks like they might go for it.
Boy, I mean, scoreless game. I know you've gotten 3 gifts from the Irish, but without your starting quarterback, I don't know about this.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to go for it here. We'll see what they choose to do. Maybe it's going to be a hard count.
Of course, Cox also is the punter. So I don't know if they've got a second punter. That could be another complication.
And it is the hard count, but I think their own right side of the offensive line, moved.
Flag procedure against Miller.
So now they will be backed up and forced to punt. And it looks like coming on to do the punting will be Damon McGee.
Yeah, you'd think you've got a second punter somewhere on your roster. Again, just in case you have a situation where injuries, you got to be prepared. You just never know when those are going to happen.
Lower kick, returnable for Jack Tenza at midfield. Wow, Tenza lowers the boom at the 40-yard line.
Delivering the punishment to the defender. You gotta love that. That was McCoy, the quarterback, who absorbed that hit.
So the Irish back on offense for the 4th time tonight. Their 3 previous possessions, all fumbles.
Yeah, if they can secure the football, this could be a 21-0 game.
Yeah. 5:46 to play in the first half. Still no score here from Fulton Field on homecoming night as well as Biddy night.
38-yard line.
And you see they have the Biddy cheerleaders down there as well.
Yeager out of the shotgun, hands it off to Tenza, and he's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Leading the charge for the Miller Falcons is number 32. That's Caleb Russell, another freshman.
Yeah, I think he was unblocked coming in there.
Some of the young cheerleaders down there joining the varsity cheerleaders for the Irish.
It's got to be a big thrill for them to be down there.
Absolutely. Second down and 14. Trips out to the left side with Tenza to the right. Now we've got 4 receivers as Chase Springer splits out wide. Yeager has pressure, and he's going to be dropped in the backfield, and he lost the football again, I believe.
Yep, the lineman picked it up, though.
It looked like Kavanaugh Frank ended up with it, but a huge loss for the Irish all the way back to the 48.
Yeah, I hate to say that play just seemed like it was doomed from the start. It took a long time for everybody to get set.
Wow, 57. Damon Brooks came through pretty much untouched.
And Brooks, one of their best defenders. That's sack number 6. He came in with 5 on the season.
And Kavanaugh Frank was just kind of Johnny on the spot there. Bounced right to him. 3rd down and 24 for Fisher Catholic.
I think I take a timeout here. It just seems like the Irish offense are out of sync and they're running out on the play clock.
Coach Timmis is not happy at all.
That ball squirted
Yeah,
right
look at
up
that.
and right to him. Talk about being Johnny on the spot. He was literally there.
This is about as heated as I've ever seen Coach Timmis get.
Well, and you know, the thing I would be telling his players in the huddle is like, look, gentlemen, we've done what we wanted to do against this team. If we secure the football, we're leading this game.
I mean, we're basically, you're telling them we're basically dominating them.
Exactly.
But we're turning the ball over.
Right. Self-inflicted wounds is what's hurting us in this game. And so that's probably where the frustration comes in. Obviously, you know, early in the season, everything going on with COVID, limited practice, what you can do, all those types of things. Yeah, you expected a very rusty start to the beginning and the season. We saw that, especially down at Bern Union.
Right.
But they have slowly gotten better each week, and that was one thing that Coach talked about. But when you get in a situation like this where you're having success executing the plays, except for holding on to the ball.
Yep. So 3rd and 24, 4:10 to play in the first half.
Ball spotted at the 48-yard line.
And really, this is about as far away as Fisher Catholic has ever been. They've played pretty much the entire game offensively in Miller territory. Yeager back to pass. And it's intended for Tenza, but just overthrown.
Intended for Tenza.
And it looked like Miller was ready for that one because they had 2 guys bracketing Jack Tenza. And that may be their strategy, just put 2 guys on him all night.
And 24 for the Irish.
So the Irish now forced to punt. Yeager does the punting for Fisher Catholic. Hunter Wellspring goes back to his 20-yard line to receive the punt. Good snap. Yeager gets the punt away with pressure, and Wellspring fair catches right about the 18-yard line.
Punt is fair caught by Hunter
That might be one of the best starting field position spots that Miller's had tonight.
Yeah. It is homecoming here at Fulton Field for the Fisher Catholic Irish, and before the game they had the ceremonies, and the Queen was crowned, and that's Victoria Johnson. We want to congratulate Victoria as the 2020 Fisher Catholic Homecoming Queen, And the king, Nick Kruner. They actually crowned them, I believe, yesterday at school.
Okay.
In a assembly that they had. And then when I mentioned that I was out working on the baseball field, the soccer team was practicing, and Nick Kruner was running around practicing soccer with his king crown on.
I would think that would be difficult.
It was interesting.
Can't do any headbutting or anything like the ball on top of the crown.
That's
That
true.
probably doesn't work too well.
1st and 10 for the Falcons. 3:59 to play in the first half. No score. Now a high snap goes over the head of the quarterback. He's got lots of pressure inside the 5, and he's going to be wrapped up right there at about the 6.
A good job by the Irish getting there and containing him and not letting the quarterback out of their grasp.
Jack Wright was the first man to him. Also Jonathan Crook on the sack. And Waylon Yeager.
And good job being disciplined there, because a lot of times, defensive linemen see ball on the ground, they kind of forget their responsibilities, right. And you can see those turn into big plays.
McCoy now will stand on the goal line as he hands off this one to Tommy Mitchell. And Mitchell gives him some breathing room out to about the 10 or 11.
There might have been a little bit of holding out on the edge as we see a look at that last play. And great job by the Irish, just swarming. Got several guys to the ball. You love to see guys rally into the football.
Jack Wright, 21, a freshman for the Irish, was the man to end up wrapping him up. 3rd down and 17 for Miller. 2:37 and counting here in this first half. Straight quarterback keeper for Trey McCoy. And McCoy all the way out to the 20 and still going to about the 21. He's still shy of the first down. So they will have to punt here.
That'll be a good run there. That gives you some breathing room and hopefully helps you flip the field a little bit.
Brings up a 4th and 6 for the Falcons.
So McGee comes back on to punt as Yeager and Tenza go back to receive it. There's a replay of that last run. As I mentioned, he's not very big, but I'm telling you, he runs hard. And look at him. He's running over top of guys that are much bigger than him.
Yeah, 3 guys have to take him down.
Punt will be taken by Yeager at the 45, and it'll be brought down almost immediately. A good job on the coverage right there by number 50. That's Landon Evans.
Landon Evans on the tackle.
Once again, great starting field position for the Irish. Love to see them take advantage of it at some point.
You mentioned Miller and their playoff game will go to Waterford. Now, the thing about that is they're very familiar with Waterford, both being, Waterford's still a Tri-Valley Conference member, but Miller just coming from the Tri-Valley Conference. They played there every other year, and Waterford would come to their territory. So a familiar opponent, that's got to be a little bit more comforting going into the playoffs.
It does, and it's a big deal for Miller. I know everybody making the playoffs this year, but Miller has only been to the playoffs twice in their history. And the last time was 2000. These kids weren't even born there playing.
Wow.
Nathan Thompson on the tackle.
10's on the short carry there. 2nd down and 8. 1:25 and counting here in this first half. Still no score. Fisher Catholic with 2 timeouts remaining.
From the 41-yard line.
Four receivers on the right, 1 to the left. Yeager going to give it to Alex Smith. Alex Smith with some running room over on the far side. Cuts it back inside, and I think he might have enough for a first down or real short. Just barely.
He'd be a yard short. The only thing I'd like to see him do is try and get out of bounds on that to conserve some clock. He had an opportunity to get to the sideline. He kind of cut it upfield a little too soon, and he could have saved a few seconds off the clock because they only have 1 timeout left.
And it is rolling down inside of 40 seconds.
Well spotted at the 34-yard line.
3rd and 1. Sullivan in motion. Here's Tenza. And he dives forward for the first down. And the clock down to 22 seconds.
And now I think about maybe trying to quickly run another play or even clock it, but they're just huddling up.
Clock is running at 20.
think you got
They
to
need to
clock it
hurry.
here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeager taking a long time on the snap count. Clock down to 12. Back to pass. Fires one down there. He's got Chase Springer. It's caught at the 12 inside the 10-yard line with 6 seconds.
Nice
And
catch.
Coach Timmis will take a timeout.
Nice catch by Springer. I mean, that play, it looked like a couple of receivers maybe thought they were going to clock it because one on the near side didn't even run a route.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confusion, but nice pass down the seam.
What do you do here? You've got a very capable field goal kicker in J.J. Vio. There's a great catch by Springer.
That ball looked like it might have slid down his thigh a little bit, but he was able to kind of keep it in. And, yeah, I think I go for 3 here. Just to have something on the board going into halftime.
Vio, number 7, still stands on the sideline, so it looks like they are not going to attempt a field goal.
I mean, you could maybe throw a fade, but you have to get it and launch it quick and maybe be able to run one more play, but you are really on the edge of doing that.
And it has to be thrown into the end zone. The receiver's got to make sure they get to the end zone.
It's one step and fire it to the end zone if that's the game plan. Otherwise, you're going to just get one play here.
So 1st and goal. The ball spotted at the 8. 6 seconds on the clock here in the second quarter. No score.
And if I'm Miller, I think about maybe waiting and seeing what the Irish come out in, what they line up in, and maybe burn my timeout. You can't take it with you to halftime, so why not?
No timeouts remaining for Fisher Catholic. Sullivan, the lone man behind Yeager. Yeager to pass into the end zone, and it's incomplete. 2 seconds on the clock.
There's a lot of contact in the end zone. I'm surprised there wasn't a flag there.
Tenza was tied up down there. And here trots on J.J. Vio, the sophomore, 5'7", 148-pound kicker. Excellent soccer player, and Vio will get a chance to put the Irish on the board here at the end of the half. This kid can kick with both feet. No joke. Got a quick story about him after he attempts this one.
That's rather impressive.
Kick is up and it's blocked.
Got to cover it.
It is blocked. So the first half will end 0-0 as the Irish did a nice job the entire half driving the football, but mistakes, turnovers have killed them.
Officials are talking here. That ball went backwards. That should have been a live ball.
Yeah, they are discussing.
Yeah, Yeager was smart to cover that. He should have kept going into the end zone. I'm not sure it would have mattered. Now, obviously, it's the half now, so if they blew it dead, it doesn't matter.
That's the question. You can't go back and replay it. I mean.
Right, but, yeah, they should have allowed that play to continue because it was blocked and went behind the line of scrimmage. That's why I was saying cover it, because otherwise Miller could have scooped and scored on that. Or really, either team could have. I want to see.
Yeah, we'll see if
he get an explanation here. Looks like maybe an inadvertent whistle. So they're going to replay it, maybe an untimed down.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a tough break for Miller.
It is.
I mean, it would have been a tough break for Fisher Catholic if you end the half on it.
But also, no one from Miller went after it. It could have been a tough break for them that the Irish could have scored. Yeah, exactly.
So out of the hold of Yeager, the kick is up, and it's good. J.J. Vio puts the Irish on the board here at the end of the half, 3-0. Boy, not the score we expected to see in a half of football.
No, it was a weird half, but if you're the Irish, you're glad you got some points on the board, and you can at least build on that going into halftime. And now we'll just try and regroup and clean up some of the mistakes.
Want to invite you to stay tuned. We've got the halftime band show coming your way. Brought to you by the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments. Family owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home. Respect for tradition, regard for change. Halftime Band Show will also be brought to you by Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Personal or business banking, whatever you need. We take it seriously because we know you do. The difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Halftime at Fulton Field, Fisher Catholic leads Miller 3-0. We're going to take a timeout, be back with the Irish Marching Band on the high school football game of the week.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Fisher Catholic Marching Irish is proud to present its 21st Century Breakdown halftime show, chosen by our senior band members. We will begin with the ever-popular hit, Shake It Off, made famous by Taylor Swift.
Maybe just check it. Stand by camera 2, Jimmy, you're on 3. You'll need some tight shots. Coming in
3. Our next song, released in 2007, is the first hit single from the Canadian rock band Finger Eleven, called Paralyzer. And to end our halftime show this evening, we will present Green Day's 21st Century Breakdown. The Fisher Catholic Marching Irish is under the direction of Mrs. Judy Rare and with percussion help from Allison Maskulinski. Thank you so much for your support, and go Irish!
For the first time since 2014, Irish Biddy football is back. Tonight we are pleased to introduce to you the 2020 Irish Biddy football team and cheerleaders. First we have your Irish cheerleaders. Charlotte Hintz, Ava Lawrence, Claire Hampshire, Lainey Gillum, Bridget Hintz, Ella Rostal, Megan Warrior, Cecilia Nestle, Cece Hampshire. The cheerleaders are coached by Michelle Shriver. Now your Irish Biddy football team. Number 4, Sam Tenza. Number 24, Dane McGill. Number 25, Hadley Gillum. Number 26, Thatcher McGill. Number 32, Ethan O'Reilly. Number 36, Ethan Schmelzer. Number 40, Brody Crussell. Number 42, Nicholas Rostal. Number 43, Blake Warrior. Number 46, Joey Ellis. Number 47, Breck McGill. Number 48, Dylan Behringer. Number 49, Charlie Tenza. Number 67, Wyatt Hillis. Number 69, Luke Donnell. Number 73, Zane Anderson. Number 74, Gavin Thomas. Number 76, Nick Harris. Number 77, Caleb Gus. The Irish are coached by Jack Gillum, Doug Ellis, J.J. O'Reilly, Pat Harris, and Jared McGill. Again, a big hand for our Biddy football team and cheerleaders.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, North Body Shop, Park National Bank, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Sheridan Funeral Home, Buckeye Toyota, and Standing Stone Bank.
And we welcome you back to Fulton Field. Our halftime score, 3-0 Fisher Catholic on top of Miller. The half ended with a lot of question marks as the field goal attempt was blocked. The first field goal attempt was blocked. It went backwards, covered by Fisher Catholic. They tried to advance, but a whistle blew the play dead. So the officials come together, and what do you think happened there, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it was clearly a kick that was blocked, did not go beyond the line of scrimmage. So at that point, it's a live ball. And Colton Yeager picked it up and started running with it, and then the officials at that point had already blown it dead and ruled it an inadvertent whistle. Had it not been for the whistles, we'll get another look at this. Had it not been for the whistle, he would have coasted in for a touchdown. A great job by Miller. They got great penetration there and blocked
that's the block, yeah, so it goes backwards.
Yeah, so that's still a live ball at that point. But everybody from Miller's running off towards the sidelines.
Yeah, look at them. They're heading toward the sidelines.
And I think at this point the whistle blew.
And if it doesn't blow, he's got easy lane to the end zone.
Right, and a few blockers ahead of him.
Really, I mean, it could have been 6 for the Irish.
And quite honestly, if you're Miller, you're glad you're only down 3-0.
Right.
Because if it weren't for Irish mistakes, they should have at least a couple scores on the board.
So the officials came together, they discussed, and then ultimately they allowed Fisher Catholic to attempt the field goal again. J.J. Vio boots it through, and that gives them the 3-0 lead. Now, I told you, J.J.'s a kid that this is his first year ever playing football. And ironically, here's how it kind of came about. Last January, if you remember right, we had a lot of really nice warm weather. And, of course, being the baseball coach.
Feels like an eternity from
it does,
now.
But I was out hitting some fly balls to J.J., out on the soccer field, and he and a couple other players, and somebody came out and was kicking field goals, and JJ said, I want to go give it a try. He goes down, he boots one through 35 yards with his right foot, and then he tries it again with his left foot and boots it through with his left foot. I took video of it on my phone, and I sent it to Coach Timmis. I said, hey, I found your new field goal kicker. And next thing you know, he's playing both soccer and football. So
you're a kicking recruiting service.
I am, yes, exactly. But JJ's he's a great kid, and congratulations to him. He's had some success with field goals this year, which really, I mean, that's not something that Fisher Catholic is used to having, really.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of call it the haves and have-nots of high school football is the kicking game. Because you think about it, it takes a lot of pressure off of your offense if you are able to get inside the 20-yard line and know more often than not you're going to come away with at least 3 points. And also, you think about this in terms of field position. If you get a kicker that can put it into the end zone consistently, you know that your defense is going to have 80 yards to have to worry about defending and not, giving up a big return.
Fisher Catholic will start with the football as Miller will kick it off to begin the second half. Kick will be taken at the 25-yard line by Avery Hickman, and Hickman gets up to about the 31.
The kick for the Irish. McLean on the tackle.
I am sure the biggest majority of the time spent by Coach Timmis with his team at halftime was talked about protect the football.
Most important thing that you can do is protect the football. The Irish did not do a good job of that in the first half, and really could be comfortably ahead if they did. But you have to put that behind you at this point and say, you know what, it's over and done with. We're going to worry about the second half, and really, if they can concentrate on correcting that mistake, they should have no problems here in the second half.
Tenza stands behind Yeager. Sullivan in motion again. It'll be Tenza taking the handoff and getting up to close to the 40-yard line. for the Miller Falcons and Coach Bartley, my guess is is pretty upbeat, probably pretty positive. He's got to feel good about, especially losing his quarterback early on.
Right.
He's got to feel good about the guys that stepped up.
Yeah, you lose Blayton Cox. It's hard to replace a guy like that, but, give the Miller team credit. They are doing what they have to do to stay in this ball game and taking advantage of the opportunities. They just need to try and generate some more offense to help out their defense.
2nd and 4. Tenza again had a nice big hole there to run through, and Tenza all the way up to midfield and a first down Irish.
Yeah, it's 7-8 yards down the field before he's even seeing first contact on that play.
Unfortunately, we do not have live stats tonight. Of course, we're missing our statistician, Beth Campetti, who has not been with us all season for several different reasons, but we definitely miss her, and we've had to rely on some other ways to get stats, and unfortunately we don't have that tonight. But we do know that Jack Tenza is racking up the yards.
Yeah, I bet he's knocking on the door of 100 by now.
1st and 10. Here he is again, right up the middle. Look at him go, still dragging guys with him all the way down to the 35. That's a 15-yard pickup, and about 10 of that was with guys on his back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yards after contact, he probably got a good 5 yards on that run itself.
This is nothing new. We've seen this all night from the Irish, but it's been turnovers when they get down inside Miller territory.
Yeah, first contact there with the 45. He's to the 40, still going.
And one thing you see there is a lot of upright guys trying to tackle him. You're not going to be able to bring him down that way.
No, you've got to hit him in the midsection or in the thighs to bring down a guy like Jack Tenza.
Sullivan resets to the left side as the lead blocker. Tenza takes a hit and bounces off of it, trying to get outside. And he's gang tackled at about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, good job there by McLean and Wellspring there to wrap him up and then just keep driving him sideways. All you got to do is stop his forward progress. Easier said than done, I know.
2nd and 8 for the Irish.
If you can stand up running back and wait till your defenders help rally to the ball, that's the best you can do if you're by yourself.
Yeager breaks the huddle with 2nd down and 8. Smith in motion. And he's going to be the lead blocker for Yeager, but he's going to be dropped way back in the backfield. In on the sack is Caleb Russell.
And he's played a good game tonight on the edge.
Yeah, he has. That did not fool the Falcons at all.
Now you're behind the chains if you're the Irish. Good job to shed the block, get upfield, make the tackle. Also the defensive end there. That was Russell, the defensive end. But Damon Brooks also got great penetration from the defensive tackle position.
We've called both those guys' names a lot tonight defensively for Miller. 3rd and 17. Here's Tenza. Tenza across the 35, still going, and down inside the 30. It is still short of the first down, but it gives them a lot more options to work with here.
I tell you, 3rd and 17, you don't expect to make it so you have 4th and manageable.
Brings up a 4th down and 4.
Because before, you don't even contemplate going for it.
No.
Now, it's 4th and 4, and you're inside the 30. Yeah, you definitely think about going for it.
Fourth down and 4. Yeager out of the shotgun, tends it to his left. Yeager will keep it himself. Nice block and a good cut inside. Yeager inside the 10, stays on his feet.
Play.
Touchdown, Fisher Catholic.
Love the balanced touch at the end of that. We'll get another look at that, but the stiff arm, just the whole, that's a tough run. I mean, you love watching hard runs like that.
Got some good blocking too. Alex Smith gave him a nice block, and then Yeager with a nice cut inside the block. And as you said, kept his balance and trotted in for the touchdown. So Vio comes on to kick the extra point out of the hold of Colton Yeager.
Vio will be attempting the extra point for the Irish.
Kick is up, and it is good.
And it's good. The Irish 10.
Here's another look at this play. Good fake there. Gets a couple blockers, and he just turns it upfield. 4th down, obviously you got to do that. Nice stiff arm there. But the most impressive thing after this contact, lowers the shoulder. But look at the balanced touch. as he just puts that offhand down just enough to gather himself. And that is a drill back when I played that every day we would work on that with running backs, just to put one hand down, because you ever have those situations, you're a little off balance, just need to put your fingertips down, right the ship, and keep going.
Man, that was he lowered that shoulder, and, man, that was a heck of a hit. Watch this right here.
This is the quarterback, folks.
Oh. Wow.
That's just delivering the punishment to
He
the
delivered
defender.
it. He delivered it for sure. Kyler Cook was trying to bring him down. He's only 5'9", 145. Colton Yeager, 6'3", 176. That's big, especially for a quarterback in Division VII.
Yeah.
So Vio on to kick off as the Irish lead it 10-0 with 8:14 to play in the third quarter.
So which foot is he going to kick with here?
McLean and McCoy.
That could be very valuable. You think about it in an onside kick situation.
That's true. Very true.
You could approach it either direction, and defense wouldn't know what's coming.
Ball taken at about the 10-yard line and returned up to about the 28 by Kylan McLean.
Decent field position for the Falcons. And you'd like to see them get something good going here. They just haven't had a lot to offensively go their way. Certainly losing Leighton Cox early in this game completely changed the game plan.
Yeah, you just got to wonder, had he been in, how much more would they have been able to take advantage of those turnovers from Fisher Catholic?
Certainly, yeah, and they would have controlled the ball a lot more, I'm pretty sure.
So 1st and 10 for Miller. They've got a player that's shoes untied, and one of his teammates who does not wear gloves had to tie it for him. Offensive lineman helping offensive lineman there.
That's what it's all about.
McCoy out of the shotgun. Running back hit immediately at the line of scrimmage. That was Caleb Russell, the ball carrier.
And Waylon Yeager just got right in his face. He had no chance.
We talked about the size of Jack Tenza as a junior. How about Caleb Russell? Just a freshman, 5'11", 195. He's going to be a beast
for
the next 3 years.
He's probably not hit his growth spurt yet.
No.
So, yeah, he could easily be 225 or so, put a little bulk on by the time he's a senior.
Maybe get up over 6 foot. 2nd and 10 here. McCoy looking to pass. Looking downfield, he's got a man out there. That's Kylan McLean.
Oh.
Tip drill. Yeager did a nice job of recovering as McLean was open, but the pass floated just a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit behind the receiver. You'd like to see it, out there on him a little bit quicker, but not a bad ball. And, yeah, good job on defense. I thought Yeager was going to end up picking that one off.
Man, if that had just a little bit more on it. But
look at the ups there.
Wow. Great job by Yeager.
I wonder where his vertical is. But
and McLean still almost was able to bring it in.
A little juggling there almost. Good effort.
3rd down and 10. 2 receivers split out to the near side. That's Wellspring and McLean. McCoy is just going to keep it himself, looking for some blockers on the near side. He's got him. And McCoy all the way across the 40 and a 1st down for Miller.
Yeah, you had 2 blockers out ahead of him. I'd like to see them go upfield and look for more guys. They kind of turned back and tried to block behind him. He needed more help downfield, but a good job by Miller offense. Is that their first down? They may be one of the few first downs they've had tonight.
Yeah, I think so. 1st and 10 at the 42. 6:56 to play in the third quarter. Fisher Catholic leads at 10-0.
Obviously 10-0 is not a big lead, but the way things have gone for Miller offensively, it just feels like it's a lot to overcome at this point.
McCoy took the low snap and hands it off to Tommy Mitchell. Oh, Mitchell.
Wow.
Mitchell,
That's Waylon Yeager with the big hit.
Anthony Priest in there as well.
Wow. We heard that one up here.
Yeah, that was a fillings rattler for sure.
Watch right here. The second one, right?
Bang! He got double whammied, I think.
2nd and 5 for the Falcons.
Yes, he did. Priest and Yeager.
I think Priest might have got a piece of Yeager, too, on that.
Still a 5-yard carry there on 1st down. Makes it 2nd and 5.
But they found something, I think, on that right side of the offensive line for Miller.
Here's McCoy following his blockers, but a good job. Jack Tenza bursting through there and bringing him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Jack Tenza on
I think the Irish are starting to realize that.
Along with Waylon Yeager.
Third down and 5:37 to play in the third quarter.
That's a situation, too. 3rd and 5. Even if you don't pick this one up, you may consider going for it. Certainly, it's been the best field position the Falcons have had tonight.
And we have a whistle and an official timeout. I'm not exactly sure what it's about. I don't know if it's an equipment
issue,
problem.
it looks like.
Yeah, Waylon Yeager.
He's got one of his snaps up top that came loose.
Oh, they're going to make him go out, so he's obviously not happy about that.
Now they're going to have to find somebody else to fill a spot. That's the thing, when you only have 20-some players on the team, you may have to shift 2 or 3 guys around to fill that hole.
Jack Wright comes on. He's not unfamiliar with this. He's played a lot for the Irish this year. We actually called his name earlier on a big tackle for a loss. And here's a good run by Caleb Russell, and he's got a first down for the Miller Falcons.
And Russell kind of cut that one back right where Frank left. So you can see they're going right after that spot.
For the Falcons. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line.
Glad you've joined us live here as we bring you this Mid-State League Cardinal Division matchup between the Miller Falcons and the Fisher Catholic Irish. We have a lot of new viewers from down in Corning enjoying the game tonight. We talked about changes with COVID. That's another one that we're, more and more opportunities to bring games live streaming. And so we're glad you've chosen to watch this game tonight. You've got a good one that you're watching as the Miller Falcons again complete another pass down for about an 8-yard gain.
Alex Smith on the stop.
I think it was Wellspring on the catch. It was a nice catch there on the sideline. We take a look at Miller's schedule. They've beaten the teams that they should have beaten, like Rosecrans and Federal Hockey. Worthington Christian, a tough team. Bern Union, congrats to them. And much like Fisher Catholic, another close loss to Grove City Christian. I think both of them lost by almost identical scores to Grove City Christian.
So they will play Waterford in their first-round playoff game. And then you saw they have one more game scheduled. They might schedule some more as teams are allowed to play up to 10 games. Here's Tommy Mitchell going around left side, and I think he's got another first down for the Falcons. They're close to it.
And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out throughout all divisions with adding extra games. Trying to schedule. As a baseball coach, as we see Fisher's schedule there, they got better as the season went along. Certainly hit their stride against Fairfield Christian and Rosecrans, and then coming into tonight, other than the turnovers, they have played better, and they've got a couple games that they're tacking on at the end. But it'll be interesting to see if, let's say you've got a game against somebody, they win a playoff game, and now you're looking for somebody else in 6 days to try and schedule.
Yeah.
McCoy, the ball carrier.
Trey McCoy kept it this time, and again, they're chewing up 5-6 yards every down.
Chewing up block clock, too.
Yeah, you're right. 3:30 and counting here in the third quarter. Irish lead at 10-0.
Second down
on a chilly night at Fulton Field here at Lancaster High School. Oh, big hit again. Waylon Yeager.
Tell you, he's bringing the wood tonight, that's for sure.
Second down and 3 for the Falcons. McCoy gives off again. Russell going right side, and again, it's Yeager on the stop.
Russell,
I'll tell you what, he's playing inspired football tonight, that's for sure.
3rd and 2.
Talked about being a little cool tonight. I see a portable space heater down in the front row of the bleachers.
They came prepared, didn't they?
Yeah, I saw a few folks wearing the sock hats, the stocking caps tonight, so it's getting to be that weather.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the folks at home are perfectly comfortable on their couches.
Exactly.
Still able to watch the game. 3rd down and 2. McCoy spins. I don't know if he's going to get it. He needed to get to about the 29 or 24, and he didn't get it.
Nope.
Actually lost a yard or 2.
No, he just could not spin out of that last tackle. And certainly, if you're Miller, you go for it.
Yeah.
Brings up a 4th down and 3.
4th and 3. Ball will be spotted at the 27-yard line.
I think maybe I look at Russell here.
Ball
He's
started
run
at
really
the
hard tonight,
28-yard line.
running around that right edge.
Yeah,
I
it
think
seems
it's-
like he's been primarily going to the right side.
They've had more success. I think they trust their right side of the offensive line a little bit more in this situation.
McCoy looking to pass, looking downfield. Fires one out there, and it is tipped at the goal line or
McCoy's
at the
pass is
1 yard
incomplete.
line by Simon Messerly and
Intended for
incomplete. That's a
McLean.
smart decision. Rather than intercept it, just knock it down because you're going to have much better field position. Take it
Irish
over
take
at the
over,
27.
1st and 10.
And not a bad decision there either to throw it deep, because obviously if it gets picked off, it is like a punt. It's probably better than a punt.
Yeah.
That ball just hung up there too much, and give credit to Kylan McLean, who tried his best to get back to it, but just unable to get there. He had to fight 2 defenders for it, too.
Keep in mind, if you're just joining us, Trey McCoy, not typically the quarterback for the Miller Falcons. Blayton Cox, the senior quarterback who has done an outstanding job all season, went out early with what looked like a leg injury on a leg that already had a brace on it. So the fact that McCoy just able to loft it down there is saying something. Here's Tenza this time wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Tenza, the ball carrier. Trevor Hoffman.
Hoffman leading the charge for the Falcons. As the clock rolls down inside of 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Irish lead it 10-0.
If you bought a 50-50 ticket, we're
Josh,
going
do you
to
see
announce
Cox
the
anywhere
winning
over on the
number
sideline,
Yeah,
at the end
I'm
of
looking
this
across the
third
sideline. I
period.
don't even see him.
We have $275.
So they may
for
have
the winner.
taken him to get checked out. We certainly wish him the very best.
Yeah, just an unfortunate play as he went down awkward.
2nd and 10, Yeager out of the shotgun. He will keep it himself. Short gain on the play up to about the
Colt Yeager, the ball
27 yard line, maybe a gain of 1, if any. No, he just got back to the line of scrimmage.
Caleb Russell on the tackle.
There you hear it again, Caleb Russell.
Yeah, he has been a solid player tonight for
Brings up a 3rd
Miller.
and
I
10
mean,
for
we
the Irish.
talked about the time when Cox went down, who was going to be the guy to step up, and certainly Russell
From
has
the
done his
32.
best.
This is going to be a fun matchup for years to come as Miller moves over into the Mid-State League Cardinal Division. You know, this is just as young a team as an inexperienced team as Fisher Catholic is.
I think it's a good fit in the conference. You got
Yeah.
a lot of schools similar sized. For a long time, the Cardinal was going through some changes.
Yeager back to pass. Oh,
Oh,
no,
boy.
he pitches one out there. It's a live football. And, wow, I thought Miller was going to be able to cover it,
First
but
ball on the play.
I think it was Tenza covering it, but not a great decision there. Or Alex Smith recovers.
Yeah, Smith
Alex
got on
Smith
that one.
recovered the ball for the Irish.
Wow. That's like a Brett Favre type
Watch
of play.
this.
That's the end of the 3rd
He's pretty much
quarter.
wrapped up, and then he just kind of
flicked
tosses
it
it out
10,
there.
Falcons nothing.
That goes as a pitch.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
live
lateral.
football.
Okay,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we have that winning number.
Wow.
in the
Landon
50-50
Evans almost
draw.
able to run it down.
Again, $275.
And yeah, you just got to fall on that one. You know, I know he's trying to get it and scoop and
If you
score
have
there,
this
but
ticket,
taking the
bring it
ball
to
to
the
20-yard
press
line is a
box.
good thing for Miller too. But
The
you know,
number
in the
is
case of
70
Colton Yeager, you just got to
7-9-5-1.
take the sack. I mean,
Yeah.
that's one of those
That's
plays.
70
Sometimes you just have to know where to cut your losses, take the sack, and
5-1.
move on.
Yeah.
If you have that ticket,
Fortunate for
bring it to the press
Yeager,
box. We'll give you
Alex Smith was able to get over there
$275.
and fall on it, so now the Irish will have a chance to punt it rather than Miller taking over deep in their territory.
And I think if I'm Miller and Coach Sean Bartley, I go after it. I mean, you know,
Why
you
not?
try and make something happen. There's not been a lot go well for them tonight. Maybe just send the house and see what happens.
This has been, other than turnovers, very clean football game, a good football game. We've seen, what, just 2 or 3 penalties?
Yeah, I think 2, and that happened like on consecutive plays.
Yeah.
So it's been very well played. And you'd expect teams starting to hit their stride. And, you know, we talked about Fisher Catholic starting to hit their stride, winning 2 straight. You know, Miller this year has been a little bit
5-1.
different, but they feel like they were playing a little bit better coming into this game as
Yeah.
well, getting, you know, a close loss even. I think they played pretty well last week against Grove City Christian.
And the week prior to that, even though the final score didn't tell the story, they played tough with Bern Union.
And this has been a program that has had struggles, and we talked about they've only had 2 playoff appearances. You know, a
North
couple
and
years ago,
18.
they went 4-6 last year. 2-7 the year before, and then 7-3, 7-3, but did make the playoffs in 16 and 17.
We have a whistle and a stoppage right before the punt. I don't see a flag, though.
I don't think the officials are ready. I don't know if they gave the ready for play signal yet. I think Fisher may have just gone ahead and snapped it.
So a do-over here.
We've already seen one of those tonight, right?
Yeager to punt it. Good snap. Should be a returnable kick for Wellspring. Hunter Wellspring up the middle. And it's going to be excellent field position for the Falcons to start this drive. Trailing 10-0 as we begin the fourth quarter. 11:51 to play in the ball game.
Good job by Wellspring. I didn't think he had much there. It looked like Fisher had that covered pretty well, but he did a good job getting upfield and getting what he could.
So 1st and 10 for McCoy and the Falcons. Coach Sean Bartley does double duty at Miller as he's not only the football coach but also the athletic director.
And you see a lot of that at the smaller schools.
Yeah.
And usually it is the football coach.
Trey McCoy out of the shotgun. He's got Caleb Russell to his left and Tommy Mitchell to his right. He will pitch it back. Looks like a pass coming from Hunter Wellspring, but he just kind of pitches it out back to Trey McCoy, who's hit behind the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a shovel pass for -2 yards. Well, you got to be creative when you've had the situation that they're in, not ideal circumstances, losing your quarterback, and you do whatever you can. Irish not fooled at all, though. Good pressure by Tenza.
He threw that with his left hand.
He did. Much like what we saw Yeager try to do, right-handed.
2nd and 12. McCoy gives it to Tommy Mitchell, trying to get to the outside, and a good run by Tommy Mitchell.
And he's been another guy that they have used quite a bit this season. Mitchell, had 10 carries last week. He's over 200 yards in the year and 4 touchdowns. He's kind of a guy that if he's gotten a touchdown in the season, they've won the game.
That's true.
Brings up a 3rd down and 6.
Mitchell, a 5'8", 160-pound freshman. They're 2 running backs, both freshmen, Russell and Mitchell. After Blayton Cox went out with the injury, and Trey McCoy has stepped up and done a great job at quarterback for them. McCoy's pass is complete.
McCoy's
and the right side.
To Wellspring.
A late flag.
Wow, very late.
And that could be very costly. It looks like it may go against Fisher.
Wow. That is a big one on the Irish. That would have been 4th down, but now it's going to be 1st down and great field position for Miller.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do is take advantage of the opportunities that you're given. The Irish, have given up the football a few times tonight, and now this a costly penalty that will be probably the deepest in Irish territory Miller has been tonight.
To the 22-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Falcons.
McCoy hands it off. This time it looks like it's to McGee. Was that Russell or was that McGee? It was Russell,
yeah.
This time he did go to that left side. He's been going primarily right side all night.
You got to kind of mix it up a little bit because, the Irish will key on that, just like any team would.
2nd and 7 for the Falcons.
Falcons with really good field position. I think they're best of the night inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. 2nd down and 7. They trail at 10-0, 10:05 and counting here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, definitely the first time they've been in the red zone tonight.
McCoy rolling to the right side. This is a designed quarterback keeper. And he's going to be stopped, looks like, at the line of scrimmage. Kavanaugh Frank on the stop.
Waylon Yeager on the tackle.
And Yeager also. I think that's Yeager that's still down for Fisher Catholic.
Yep.
Officials timeout.
Or no, excuse me, I think that is Priest, 50.
Oh, yeah, it is Priest, isn't it? Number 50. It is close to the Miller sideline, so their trainer, Christy Jackson, the first out
We still don't have
to
a
check
winner
on
for
him.
50-50. We'll announce the number one more time. 707951.
So the
If you have that number,
Gonna check him out.
Bring it
Hopefully
to the
he's going to
press
be all right.
box.
9:41 to play in the fourth quarter. 10-0 Fisher Catholic leads. And when you talk to Coach Timmis, you had a chance not only to talk about this game, and obviously from a coaching standpoint, you never want to look ahead. But what were his thoughts on their matchup with Cardington Lincoln?
He really didn't elaborate much on the playoffs. He was kind of more laser focused on this game. But really, the fact that you don't have to worry about, am I going to make the playoffs?
Sure.
Again, usually you get to the last game of the season, you're worried about, one, do we have enough points to get in the playoffs? Or two, do we have the points where we maybe can get a home game, or we match up with somebody better than somebody else, so we definitely want to win this, that type of thing.
Yeah.
That's all out the window this year. It was all done by coaches like baseball and basketball and many of the other sports.
Good to see Priest walking off under his own power. Almost looked like it might have been a cramp because he's walking pretty good now.
Hard to cramp, though, I would
I
think,
know,
when
it's
it's
chilly.
about 50 degrees out.
Miller will have a 3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7 for the Falcons.
Russell will flank McCoy to his left.
And Russell also kicks, so you wonder what kind of range he would have where they would feel comfortable letting him try a field goal.
Rolling to the near side, looking to pass. And it's a little bit behind Russell. I tell you, if he could have led him more with that, Russell had a lot of running room.
Clay Brown.
Yeah, that was the tight end Brown.
Or yeah,
there.
it was Brown, wasn't it?
He's got some good size, 6'2",
Brings up a
165.
4th and 7 for
That's a
the
good
Falcons.
size target. Now you're kind of committed to being, committed to going for it in
Yeah.
this situation. You'd love to take advantage of the opportunity you've been given with that personal foul that extended this drive.
Fourth down and 7.
I like that play design, though. It's just thrown a little bit
Yeah.
behind Brown.
McCoy hands it off, and it's going to be stopped in the
Mitchell, the ball
backfield.
carrier.
Mitchell was the ball carrier. Tommy
Waylon
Mitchell.
Yeager on the tackle.
And Waylon Yeager did a great job coming through and swallowing that play up.
So the Irish take back over
1st and 10.
with 9:27 to play in the ball game, leading 10-0.
From the 22-yard line.
The way the Irish have run the football tonight, you got to think they could do some damage on the time remaining in this game. Get one more look. You see Yeager come right through. He's just there, almost waiting on him.
Wow, he's played strong.
He has played
defensively.
very strong tonight. Really, the defenses, I think, have been the story.
Yeah, you're right.
We talk about Fisher Catholic having a lot of success running the football. Not
Jack
so much here in the
Kinsey,
second
ball
half,
carrier.
but really give Miller some credit, too. They've forced a lot of those
Yeah.
turnovers.
That's one of the things that Coach Timmis said about Miller. They're very
Russell
physical
on
and
the
aggressive,
tackle.
and we've seen that tonight.
Yeah, they have been.
Gained a 2,
And obviously
2nd and
tough
8
because
for the
they have
Irish.
taken some big hits offensively and defensively. We saw Yeager just run over top of a guy down here. Tenza's been doing it, but they're getting right back up. That's a tough group
Right.
that Coach Bartley has. 2nd down and 8, 8:52 to play in regulation. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Yeager gives off to Tenza. Tenza, nice run here up across the
Jack
35
Kinsey, the ball carrier.
and near the 40-yard line.
McCabe
A
on the
lot of
tackle.
running room there. The Irish did a
1st and
good
10
job
for the
sealing
Irish.
off the edge, really giving a big alley to run through.
Ball spotted
Here
at
it
the
is again.
38-yard line.
I think both of us could run through this hole. Look at that. I'd like to
We
see
do
him
have
maybe
a
put
second
another hand
number
on top of the ball as he
50-50
feels that
we will
contact.
give you in just a second.
But other than that, good run there by Jack Tenza.
I'm sure that they will focus a lot of their practice on protecting the football this week.
You might see a few walk around school this week
Yeah,
with
that's
a football.
true. Low snap. Yeager picks it off the turf. And if he can get to the outside, he's got some room out there to midfield. Yeager inside Miller
Yeager,
territory to the
ball carrier.
42. on a busted play.
Yeah.
Tyler Cook on the tackle.
That's just outworking the defense.
1st and 10 for the Irish.
Colton Yeager making something happen
Here's
here.
that second number for the 50-50.
Yeah, stiff arm. He has
since
done
we
a
didn't
great
have
job
a winner.
tonight with the stiff arm.
1, 3, 7.
And that's one of those plays, bust a play like that, and guys running behind the play that you often see a block in the back that doesn't need to happen. But the Irish did a good job of not doing that this time.
Right. And good job by Kyler Cook at the end of that play to break it up.
Here's Tenza going left side over left tackle. I think he lost the football.
I think he fell on it, though.
Just what you were talking about, Josh.
Yeah, once you get through the line of scrimmage, then you start feeling that contact. You got to put another hand on top of the ball, especially late in the game. Got to take care of the football. It's the most important thing. That's the 5th fumble tonight.
Yeah,
They've only lost 3 of them.
2, 0, 1.
7:15 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Irish lead at 10-0. 2nd down and 5. Get your players of the game coming up in a few moments. Messerly splits out to the right side. Smith in motion. Here's Tenza. I think he's going to be short of the first down by about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, I think you'll see a lot more Jack Tenza here.
I wish we did have live stats going tonight so we could see
Andy
how many
Vito's
carries, not just
won the
yardage, but he's had a ton of carries
He's
tonight.
had, I mean, there's been times where he's gone 3 or 4 plays consecutively lugging it. And, that's a credit to his endurance, too. I mean, you're playing both ways, and you're carrying the ball quite a bit. I mean, that's going to wear down a player who's not in shape. But certainly Jack Tenza is in shape as we get a good look at him in his stance.
And here is Tenza. No, it wasn't Tenza. I thought that was a good fake. I thought Tenza had it all the way. But it was Yeager keeping it himself, and he's got the first down.
Faked you out and the defense.
He did.
We might note
1st and
that
10 for the
$100
Irish
was donated back
at the
to school.
27-yard line.
We thank you.
Yeager trots to the sideline to get the play and then takes it back out. Of course, you've heard us, those of you from Miller watching, not familiar with Fisher Catholic, you've heard us say Yeager a lot. That's because Colton Yeager is the quarterback, and his brother Waylon Yeager is a lineman and one of those guys who've been calling a lot on that defensive line. Waylon is a junior, Colton a senior.
Good genes in that family.
That's
for sure.
right. Here's Yeager's pass over the middle. It's overthrown over the head of Jack Tenza.
Yeager's pass
Put a
is
little too
incomplete.
much on that one, just a little bit less. He had it. It was
Intended for
nice,
Jack Tenza.
nice job by Tenza going down the middle of the field, going one-on-one with the
3rd and
safety.
10 for the Irish.
Yeah, not a bad play
2nd
call. I
and
know
10
that,
for the Irish.
stops the clock, but still, you're working on things here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other beauty. We talked about, coaching a little bit differently in this shortened season. You can work on some things that in a playoff game you're going to need to execute.
Mm-hmm. 2nd and 10. Here's Tenza again, trying to bump to the outside. And
Tenza the ball
this time
carrier.
he's swarmed by the Falcon defense. And I think the Falcons are going to call a timeout.
Landon Evans.
Yeah,
on
this
the
is a
tackle.
very crucial down coming up here for Miller with 5:16 left in this game.
Timeouts tonight brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. You can check out their website at carriagecompany.com. We're going to get to our players of the game. And, Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot because this is always Tim Shoemaker's job of picking the players of the game. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to think about it for both sides. I'm going to read the sponsors. We'll go with Miller first. Our Miller player of the game brought to you by Park National Bank. Fairfield National Bank has taken on our family name, Park National Bank. Park National Bank is a family of community banking teams delivering an exceptional breadth and depth of resources to individuals and businesses, providing a hands-on, personalized approach to service and strong local leadership that invests deeply in the places we live and work. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Yeah, I know it's easy when it's play-by-play. I forget being on this side of it.
That's
I
true.
have to make the
Friday
tough
night.
decisions. This one's a no-brainer, I think, for Miller. Caleb Russell tonight played a great defensive end and also has done a good job running the football tonight, number 32 for Miller. So, I mean, they needed somebody to step up, losing Blayton Cox early in this game, and he has done his best. He just hasn't had as much help as we see him and the rest of the defense coming out the field.
32. Congratulations to Caleb Russell, the freshman, 5'11", 195 pounds. A great job on both sides of the football, offensively and defensively for the Miller Falcons. He is our Park National Bank Miller player of the game. We'll get to the Fisher Catholic player of the game after this play on third down. It's a reverse. Alex Smith has the first down and more inside the 10 and now outside, or rather out of bounds, right about the 5-yard line.
Ball carrier.
And just a touch clean up there on Russell. You'd never know he's a freshman by the way he plays.
That's true.
With Mitchell.
Love that play there for the Irish, the little double handoff, kind of like what we see Lancaster run quite often. Miller not prepared for that play. Crucial here, if the Irish can punch this one in, they can ice it. If they get held to a field goal, Miller's still got a chance.
We'll get to our Fisher Catholic player of the game after this drive. 5:09, clock stopped here in the fourth quarter. Irish lead at 10-0. Yeager sends Sullivan in a little bit of motion, then he gives it to Tenza. He's inside the 5 to the 3. Second and goal.
Tenza, the ball carrier. McCabe on the tackle. Second and goal for the Irish from the 4-yard line.
Clock continues to churn down inside of 5 minutes. Here's Tenza. Strong run, getting up to the 1-yard line. We heard the pads popping as soon as he took the handoff.
Yeah, they have been popping tonight. Both teams have really been physical out there, and I think Fisher Catholic maybe worked on that a little bit more in practice this week, knowing that they had to match the physicality of Miller tonight.
For the Irish from the 2-yard line.
Certainly credit to the Irish for doing that, for matching it, but credit to Miller to bringing that.
Right. Third down and goal from the 2. Yeager keeps it himself, and he's in for the touchdown for Fisher Catholic.
Yeager for the touchdown.
Colton Yeager plunges in from 2 yards out to put the Irish up 16-0 with the extra point to come from JJVO.
Almost like a Tom Brady quarterback sneak. Just get behind your center and ride him for about 2 yards.
Colton Yeager will be holding.
We get another look at that. Takes it.
Yeager keeps it himself, and he's in for the touchdown for Fisher Catholic. Leo's extra point is up and good, and the Irish go on top 17-0 with 3:43 left to play in the ball game. Let's get to our Fisher Catholic player of the game, brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in providing quality or personalized insurance coverage that meets the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards today.
Well, it was going to be a Yeager. The way things have gone tonight, it was just a question of which Yeager it was. And I think with that last score, we got to give it to Colton Yeager. 2 touchdowns tonight. Has played great for the Irish and really has directed his team. Only miscue was that little flip thing, but other than that, a really good night for Colton Yeager tonight. And you really impressed with his running, too.
Yeah, and you got to like the poise of really of the entire offense to not get down. They started their first 3 drives with turnovers.
Yeah.
And they've done a nice job coming back from that to put up 17 points and lead at 17-0 with 3:43 left to play in the ball game.
He doesn't run nearly as hard as Jack Tenza, but it's not that far off either.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if it's something that's coached or what, but both of those two, stiff arms, contact. I mean, just, in the first touchdown that Yeager had, lowered the shoulder, kept going the little bounce touch. I mean, that's a beautiful run. You dial that one up and say, here's how it's done.
That could be the play of the game, really.
Exactly. I think that really changed things.
Yeah. I think because at that point it was 3-0, and then he puts that score on the board, and it kind of turned the tides a little bit.
Right.
Just a tough run. But again, you could,
kicking off for the Irish.
this is why Shu doesn't like that role, because there's so many guys you could give it to on both sides. For Miller, McCoy's done a nice job in coming in for Cox, who got injured early. Of course,
Damon Brooks has played
Brooks
well.
has played
Defensive
well.
line.
Yeah. And of course, the Tommy Mitchell, the freshman running backs, played well too. But we end up giving it to Caleb Russell for Miller, and of course Colton Yeager for Fisher Catholic. The return gets out across the 25-yard line. It's still going. How in the world is he still moving
Great
forward
return.
to the 39? That's Trey McCoy on the return.
There's still 3.5 minutes to go. I mean, Miller's going to have to get into a 2-minute offense because you need a couple scores here, really 3 scores. But, give them credit for the fight. You want to see them go as far as they can in this game. And certainly, we talked about it going towards the playoffs. Yeah, he gets contacted there at the 25.
Yeah.
Across the 30. Wow. That's just good leg drive and not giving up on the play.
He took 2 hard hits right about the 25-yard line, and look where he ends up, all the way out at the 37, 38-yard line.
And give McCoy a lot of credit coming into a role he was not expecting to be in tonight as a backup quarterback.
Here he is looking to pass, fires one down the middle of the field, and it's going to be picked off by Colton Yeager. Yeager gets a block from Avery Hickman, and Yeager all the way down to the Miller Falcon 36-yard line.
It's just been his night tonight.
Russell on the tackle for the Falcons. 1st and 10 for the Irish.
Irish take back over 1st and 10 with 3:19 to play in the ball game. Typically, this is the time when you might see some subs going in, but when you don't have many.
Yeah, 1 or 2, if any. That's the unfortunate thing at this level. You don't have many opportunities for subs. So in a situation like this where a game is pretty much decided, you can't sub anybody out to protect from injury going into the playoffs.
Smith goes in motion. Here's Tenza. Tenza runs down to about the 33-yard line.
Evans on the tackle.
When you really hope that Leighton Cox can come back next week for Miller.
2nd and 6 for the Irish.
Losing your starting quarterback going into the playoffs got to be tough. I mean, at least if it's not the case that he can come back, that McCoy would get a whole week's worth of reps. But it's still kind of tough at this point in the season.
Second and 6, 2:43 and counting here in the 4th quarter. Yeager waiting as long as he can. The play clock not on tonight, and so he's listening for that back judge to count.
To the ball carrier.
He counts out loud when he gets to 5 seconds.
Usually also puts a hand up, too, as a visual signal.
Short run there, 3rd down and 6 coming.
Third and 6 for the Irish from the 33-yard line.
Yeager gives it to Smith. Boy, that play was almost blown up in the backfield.
Thompson on the tackle.
Somehow, Smith's able to get positive yardage. And Coach Timmis going to call a timeout with 1:51 to play in the ball game, up 17-0. And some people might say, well, why? You have the game firmly in hand. Well, why not? I mean, you're going into the playoffs next week. This is an opportunity to still make this practice time.
Well, I think the big point of emphasis in this situation is kind of figuring out how to close out the game, and figuring out,
insist that everyone in the vehicle
what are you going to do here in a 4th down situation?
Every time.
And when you have such small rosters like Fisher Catholic and Miller have, you don't get an opportunity in practice to go man-on-man like this, 11 on 11.
Right. I mean, that's the thing we've talked about. You're going half lines. It's hard to do that. But, these are situations you may need to convert a 4th and 5 to close out a team. Obviously, tonight you don't, being up 3 scores. But, you may only be up by 4 or 5 in a playoff game, need to get a 1st down to clinch the game.
Yeah. So we'll see what they draw up here. 4th down and 5. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. Irish lead at 17-0 with 1:51 to play in the ball game. Look down beyond at the end of the end zone, back of the end zone there. Look at all the photographers. This looks like I don't see that many at a college game.
No,
it's
it's kind of like being at an Ohio State game.
Yeager looking to pass, and he's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. That was strange. It almost looked like his own man hit him, but I think he was pushed into him.
Right.
So Miller will get another chance on offense here.
What's kind of fascinating is you look at Fisher after that play. Everybody's going back to the huddle because they're all on defense. Nobody's coming off the field. You could, a Division I game, you got guys coming and going off the field. Not Division VII.
So minute 46 to play, 17-0. Fisher Catholic leads it.
And for Miller, I mean, obviously, down 17-0, 146, not enough time you would think for a comeback. But, again, as you pointed out, a good opportunity to learn because they may need to, execute a 2-minute drill next week in the playoffs, and it's good practice.
McCoy hands it off to Tommy Mitchell. Mitchell has running room up the near sideline. Mitchell, a nice move back inside and finally brought down by Waylon Yeager.
Mitchell just a freshman as well. He's another one that hits a growth spurt, fills out a little bit more. And unfortunately, we got another injury for Miller back behind the play.
That looks like Hunter Wellspring.
And he might have got rolled up on you. Kind of saw it on the right-hand side of your screen. And Mitchell
Watch this cut right here. That's a good cut back.
Yeah. Yeah, just needs to kind of tuck that ball away once he gets that contact because it was kind of looking like it could have squirted free, but certainly concern for Miller. Two big pieces with Wellspring now down and obviously losing Cox earlier. So watch this again. He's out here blocking on the lower right of your screen. Yeah, he comes into the picture. Actually, he's in the middle of your screen now. And there's just a kind of a pile up there. And he gets rolled up into.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a lot of times that's what happens. You're not seeing what's coming at you, or somebody else is blocking downfield. They fall into your legs, or you get pushed into somebody else, and that's when bad things happen, unfortunately.
So Hunter Wellspring, another senior. Their senior quarterback went down in the first quarter of this football game. Blayton Cox. Now Hunter Wellspring down as well. We certainly hope both of those guys will be okay and be able to come back, if not next week, at least to get a little more action in their senior season later on.
They got 9 seniors on the roster for Miller.
Definitely walking gingerly, but it's good to see him. Now he's trotting. That's great to see.
Yeah, certainly. Looks like he may be able to come back next week.
So Miller will have the football, 1st and 10 at the Irish 39, minute 37 to play. McCoy out of the shotgun, like he has been primarily all night. Designed keeper to the right side, gets some good blocking. And McCoy with a nice run up across the 35 to about the 32-yard line.
Kavanaugh Frank on the tackle.
2nd down and 4.
2nd and 4.
As the clock going to roll inside of a minute before this play is snapped.
So if they run it down, they probably only have to run one more play, and kind of the way things have gone, that might be the best thing.
Yeah. McCoy gives off to Mitchell and takes a hit back near the 40. Waylon Yeager on the hit.
Waylon Yeager on the tackle, along with Avery
And looks like the
Hickman.
Falcons will take a timeout with 39 seconds. Or the Irish took the
The
timeout.
Irish took it.
With 39 seconds of play, nope. Now they're whistling
Falcon
toward.
timeout.
Maybe they both wanted it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter. Both have 2 timeouts. But again, another learning opportunity in this situation.
I want to say a big congratulations to Coach Tony Herbst and the Bern Union Rockets, as last night they wrap up the championship of the Mid-State League Cardinal Division, at least a share of that, and we congratulate them with that nice win over Worthington Christian, who's a good football team.
Yeah, it's a very good win. I would like to have seen that game last night. That would have been a battle for sure, but it's been a while, I think, since Bern Union has won a league championship, so for them to get that is huge, and certainly some momentum going towards the playoffs, and a team, we saw earlier in the year, but they could do some damage in the playoffs, just depending on the way the brackets break down.
Speaking of the playoffs, let's wish best of luck to this Miller Falcon team. They will next week take on the Waterford Wildcats in Waterford. And looking in that Division 7, Region 27, also Fairfield Christian in our area will take on Frontier. This Fisher Catholic team will be playing Cardington Lincoln, and Bern Union, who we just mentioned, will take on Rosecrans. That's all coming up next week in the playoffs. McCoy on the run after the busted play. Or he couldn't find anybody open, and he just makes something happen there. Gets down to about the 27-yard line, 26, 27-yard line, and it's a first down for the Falcons.
1st and 10 for the Falcons.
So some interesting matchups in the playoffs. Of course, we mentioned last night Lancaster will get a rematch with Reynoldsburg next week. That should be a dandy.
And I believe, I don't have the bracket in front of me, if they win that, could they possibly play Groveport again? Is that?
Yes, Groveport plays Hilliard Bradley. I believe it's Bradley, and yeah.
So if the Gales, they had opportunities against Groveport, certainly. Yep. So opportunity, the Gales haven't won a playoff game since 2003, so they're long overdue.
McCoy going to tuck it and run after nobody was open, and he takes a hit from Waylon Yeager.
There'll be some bumps and bruises tomorrow for sure after this game.
Now Miller going to take a timeout. Some of the other playoff matchups.
The 24-yard line.
The most interesting, I think, Josh, is in Division 5, Region 19, as Amanda Clear Creek will open up with Morgan out of the Muskingum Valley League. And then awaiting the winner of that game is Liberty Union. What a matchup that would be here in Fairfield County.
Give Coach Shirey a lot of credit for Liberty Union. They were young last year. They were in a lot of games. Could have won that game at Amanda last year. They have really played well this year, and that would be a heck of a matchup. And the one concern, though, I have for Amanda is off the field. They've had their last 2 games canceled because of COVID exposure.
Yep.
And you wonder, going into that game against Morgan, how much rust they're going to have.
That's true. Good point. And the thing about it, that second round game is Liberty Union gets to host that game.
And that's going to be very interesting, too. Obviously, first and second round are going to be host. Is that the whole way through, or how are they going to – there's some questions I have not had answered about
I don't know.
Playoff procedures.
McCoy looking to pass. Has pressure from Priest. He's going to tuck it and run and be dropped at about the 22-yard line as the clock's going to run out here on the Miller Falcons.
That's Yeager again making that play. He had himself a heck of a game.
So the Fisher Catholic Irish overcome 3 big turnovers in the first half to win it 17-0 over the Miller Falcons here on homecoming night at Fulton Field. And Josh, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, a good win for the Irish. Obviously, anytime you can put up a shutout, that is great news and good momentum, winning your final 3 of the regular season going into the playoffs. So certainly best of luck to them against Cardington Lincoln next week, and certainly wish Miller best of luck against Waterford. But, certainly a lot on film that the coaches can look at this week and say, yep, we need to improve here, here, and here. And hey, coaches like that too.
I want to say also congratulations to our homecoming queen and king here for Fisher Catholic tonight. The queen, Victoria Johnson, was crowned, and the king, Nick Kruner. So a victorious homecoming night for the Fisher Catholic Irish. We want to throw our thanks out as well to our Interface Video Productions crew tonight, Jim Spires and Tom Russo on cameras, Donnie Ziegfeld up here with us on graphics, producer-director Bob Campetti, and, of course, Josh, it's been fun working with you. Great to be back in the booth, I'm sure, right?
Likewise, yes.
Your final score once again tonight, Fisher Catholic victorious in this Mid-State League Cardinal Division matchup to move to 3-3 overall. Congratulations, Coach Luke Timmis. Fisher Catholic wins it 17-0 over the Miller Falcons. For Josh Messerly and our entire Interface Video Productions crew, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, North Body Shop, Park National Bank, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Sheridan Funeral Home, Buckeye Toyota, and Standing Stone Bank.